Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing burgundy with gold, official weight 109.3 kilograms or 241 pounds. After capturing Olympic gold, he now has a professional record of 45 victories, including 40 knockouts, with only 3 defeats. Originally from Kiev, Ukraine, now fighting out of Hamburg, Germany, the challenger, former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, the Steel Hammer, Dr. Vladimir Klitschko. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing navy blue with red trim, official weight 98.6 kilograms or 213.5 pounds. This Olympic silver medalist now has a professional record consisting of 39 victories, including 20 knockouts, only 2 defeats with 1 draw. Originally from Flint, Michigan, USA, now living and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, the reigning, defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Chris Bird.
All right, gentlemen, we're boxing for the IBF, IBO Heavyweight Championship of the World. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, come out boxing at the bell, good luck. 12 rounds.
Who would have thunk that Chris Bird would have been cast in the role of defending what used to be considered by Americans an American birthright, the heavyweight title. And who would have thought that Vladimir Klitschko would still be standing in such a fight?
5.5 years ago, when they fought in Cologne, Germany, Bird stood on the outside and got pummeled. Klitschko won every round, knocked Bird down in the 9th and the 11th. When Bird's father, Joe Bird, began to ascend the steps to stop the fight in the 12th, Bird's brother Patrick said, "Dad, don't do it. Chris just needs to finish the fight." As Larry said earlier, Bird called it the worst night of his life. And that's why he said that he's going to go right at Klitschko from the beginning, try to get into his chest, and fight him from close range and make him work. He believes that's his best chance to win the fight.
And he also believes as the smaller man, he will work better inside. And that's why you see him standing, looking for a way to get in, as you just saw him throw a body punch.
Jumped in, got a left hand to the body. Vladimir Klitschko hasn't yet landed the big jab that set up his victory over Sam Peter. And there it is. And there it is again.
Bird holding his hands very high. Klitschko does not throw a lot of body punches.
Bird with his second shot to Klitschko's belly. So far, it's a battle of Klitschko upstairs and Bird downstairs. And after the initial bull rush that got him inside, Bird has gotten back into a more tactical mode, trying to find his way inside with jabs and body punches. From this range, even Bird would tell you, Klitschko is the likely winner of the fight.
Yeah. In this range, Klitschko outboxed, outpunched, out everything Bird in their first fight.
And to this day, Bird says, "I'm really not sure why it happened that way. I don't understand why. Everything he threw hit me. I couldn't get out of the way of anything."
At his core, Bird thinks he is simply tougher than Klitschko. And that's why he thinks he can get away with coming to him.
At our core, most Americans probably feel that Americans are tougher than people from the former Soviet republics. I'm sure over there, they would say the opposite. Another jab to Klitschko. Bird firing the jab twice, but missing short. Round has offered nothing much in the way of encouragement to Byrd so far. Cold comfort at best. 2 or 3 body shots. Klitschko has been able, when he throws it, to land his jab upstairs. Byrd misses twice, and again, not close enough. Round 1 is round 13 of the fight they fought 5.5 years ago.
And a look of exasperation on Byrd's face.
Give me the spray ball out there. You got to move the head. You wait in time. Move the head. Don't give no power to shoot at him. Give him a water. He's having a water with that right hand. He's trying a lot of something he cannot see. He's watching how to get by. Eventually his frustration.
Klitschko is clearly the most talented of all of the giants in the division, and there you see the evidence of it, that quick, punishing jab.
Klitschko's favored in the fight, partially because the world sees Chris Byrd as a non-puncher. Byrd says, I'm different now. I've worked on my strength. I can prove I can step inside and be a bigger hitter. But conventional wisdom is, if there's a star heavyweight who doesn't have the power to knock out Vladimir Klitschko, this is the guy, Chris Byrd. That's more incentive for Byrd to do the unexpected, which, of course, is the fuel his whole life has been built upon.
Changing the habits of a lifetime.
Now there's the first Vladimir Klitschko left hook. He hooks off the jab better than any other man in the division.
Is very difficult, and Byrd is trying it so far. He hasn't been able to make it work.
The 2 times Byrd has gotten into Klitschko's chest, Vladimir has reached out with the left arm and pulled him in close, creating the clinch and stopping the action. Emanuel Stewart is unabashed and saying, we're not going to fight inside. When he gets in there, Vladimir will tie him up or throw him away, just as you saw Lennox Lewis do to Mike Tyson in Memphis, June 8, 2002. Hard right hand by Klitschko. Bothered Byrd.
The first right hand he's through. Byrd took it well.
Since Byrd's in a southpaw stance, you would think that Klitschko could throw right hands a little bit more liberally than is normally the case. But he tends sometimes to be conservative in the first couple of rounds, particularly after having run out of gas the way he did against Lehman Brewster.
Byrd told us he was itching to get hit in this fight as he tried to get inside. Right now, Klitschko is scratching that itch for him.
Another right hand. Byrd sticks out his tongue and starts talking to Klitschko. Reaches with the left hand to the body. Doesn't quite get it there. The get inside and challenge your strategy isn't working for Byrd, who's being kept at bay by Klitschko's long left arm. And Byrd is thinking of complaining to referee Wayne Kelly about it. Right hand. Left hand on the shoulder to stabilize Byrd. Byrd yells into his corner. Hey! Chris Byrd is nothing if not intense. Another right hand lands for Vladimir Klitschko. He's landed 3 in this round. And 4. And a little left hook to follow. And Byrd is having trouble getting out of the way of Klitschko's right hand. Now Byrd turns and talks to us.
He says he's going to walk him down. He's walking him down, but he's also walking right into straight punches.
And into tactical clinches that stop the action when he gets there. And here's a look at Tracy Byrd, who moves toward the corner, perhaps to offer some advice.
Chris, you're down too long. Okay, he's jabbing and grabbing. Work on the inside.
That's his spit bucket. I know. Give me the bottom line.
Hey, touch you, Chris. Don't let him touch.
Don't get too over. You never got out of position. What you doing?
He's starting to land more. Eventually, he's going to start, something's going to bust up. But don't let him get you where you start to moving too much, okay? You keep this in you, and that's what he's trying to make you get into a move.
The way Byrd has been able to extend his career the way he has is that when occasionally he gets hit by those big punches, he can take them. He is hoping by making this an active fight that is the way to make Klitschko's stamina enter into the picture.
Byrd gets in a body shot and starts ramming Klitschko in the ribcage with body shots. Wayne Kelly, for the first time, mentioned something to Klitschko about holding. Byrd is clearly exasperated by that. Klitschko jab, jab, landing on Byrd. Byrd's jab just short. Now Klitschko fends him off with the left hand. Hooking a little bit off the jab, and sticks the jab again. Klitschko now more active than Byrd, who's looking for chances to throw, but is on the defensive much of the time. Byrd reaches with a body shot. Klitschko still pawing upstairs. Good left hand to the body by Byrd.
It's now becoming even more clear that what Byrd wants is to stay active, go to the body, and hope that in the second half of the fight that he can start to take control.
Byrd whacking the Klitschko ribcage now, whenever Klitschko pulls him in close with that big left arm. Byrd trying to get rambunctious in there to break the clinches and make Klitschko fight. Talked about it all day yesterday on going to make him fight. Little chopping left hook for Klitschko. Again, they grapple with each other inside. Wayne Kelly has not yet specifically warned Vladimir not to hold, although Chris Byrd is asking him to.
And he is now speaking to Klitschko.
A better antidote than holding even may be to simply keep firing the right hand. He hits Byrd flush with it again, and again, and again. Brings the crowd out of their seats. Byrd talking to Klitschko as if to say, you can't hurt me with the right hand, but the punches are landing and they're scoring.
He's, in Byrd's mind, I believe, Jim, he's trying to egg Klitschko on, trying to make him more active than is good for Klitschko.
And this time, Klitschko, instead of clinching Byrd, simply pushes him away. Byrd comes back with the lead left hand, but again, the round belonged, or so it seemed, to Vladimir Klitschko in his right hand, and Chris Byrd's right eye is beginning to swell. Immediately after tonight's telecast, stay tuned for Countdown to De La Hoya Mayorga, a documentary-style behind-the-scenes look at the two men facing off next month. Then on May 6th, live on HBO pay-per-view, Ricardo Mayorga versus Oscar De La Hoya, a dramatic and dangerous fight for both competitors.
Okay, now you getting hit with shots. You shouldn't get hit.
No. Stupid stuff.
Stupid stuff. You really saying stupid stuff. Keep the move in your head and don't hang out there. Don't hang out there now.
Swallow this one here. A little water.
I'm gonna do it.
Very good fight. Perfect. And every time you get it close, keep pushing him back.
Get moved up here.
Okay.
Round 4 begins. Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
28, 2 rounds to 1, Vladimir Klitschko. Jim, I got to tell you something. Vladimir's getting through in rounds 2 and 3. I didn't think he did a heck of a lot in round 1. I thought Chris's body shots were the more damaging shots. But be as it may, rounds 2 and 3, he got through. But Wayne Kelly, I've counted the times he's warned Vladimir. 4 times already for holding. Now, I don't know how many holds Wayne Kelly's going to put up with, but he's warned them 4 times already. 2-1, Klitschko.
I haven't seen Bird win a round yet.
Does that mean you would have given Vladimir the first, Larry?
Yes.
Sometimes you score the first even when you see it mostly tactical. There's a good jab by Vladimir Klitschko. Question is going to be, how long is Chris Bird's right eye going to hold up, as the swelling at the end of round 3 seemed fairly precipitous. Good jab and a hard right hand by Klitschko. Bird shaking his head, but shaking your head does not stop the punches from scoring. Another smirk from Bird. That means another landed punch for Vladimir. This time Klitschko went over the top instead of clinching. And again, he thrashes Chris Bird with the right hand. Klitschko clearly is getting more and more confident in his right hand. With each passing round, he has thrown it more. Bird has not been able to throw a straight left down the pipe and land it on Klitschko's chin. Another hard right hand by Vladimir Klitschko. He delivers quickly for a big man. And another one, the lead right hand that shocked Bird.
That time, Bird was holding it a little bit.
I started to think it would be awfully ironic if in a few rounds we find Chris Bird holding more than Vladimir does.
You know, I don't see anything wrong with the holding that Klitschko does. It's quick, it's tactical. John Ruiz, we found holding 15 and 16 times around and holding for as long as he could. I haven't seen anything that I thought was untoward. I don't even know why he has been warned. Clinching, to a certain degree, is a part of boxing.
And a frustrated Chris Bird shakes his head ruefully as he comes back to the corner after round 4. Incidentally, we are not in control of the engineering of this telecast. If you are not hearing the normal, clear, full-throated corner audio we expect to bring you on HBO, all I can say is we're working on it, and we hope to get it to you.
So let's get off with it, okay? You're not getting off with it. You have to turn it on. Double left hand. Go one to shoulder to the body. Go right back to the head with a holler, okay? Yeah. And move it around. He beat me to the punch, I know. Yeah, he beat you.
Your conditioning is great. Right, single rights is getting away good. But sooner or later, you're going to, when you come in, you move off to the side. Just like we did with St. Peter, we let it get away. Because he's getting a little sloppy when he gets off battle. When he's coming up here, okay, you step it over to the side. Let the right hand go.
Look at Vitaly Klitschko, who I think could join us in offering a happy birthday today to our good friend Jack Nicholson, massive boxing fan, watching at home back in Beverly Hills, and celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, Jack.
Having lost the mayoralty election in Kyiv recently, a lot of people have wondered whether Vitaly Klitschko was going to come back. He told me the knee he had operated on still bothers him. He still has in the back of his mind that he would want to fight, but in the front of his mind it says you shouldn't. In other words, he hasn't made up his mind.
Now there's some inside speculation in the sport that Vitaly and Lennox Lewis may actually mount a discussion about getting together, but wise skeptics say it's probably not going to happen. Right hand by Klitschko, down goes first. He's got a good chin, but there have been a lot of big right hand shots. And a wobbly Chris Bird bleeds from the nose. First knockdown in this fight, Vladimir knocked him down twice 5.5 years ago. A grinning Bird is ready for another assault. Klitschko thinks he might be able to finish him. A knockout of Chris Bird would be a huge credential for Klitschko. Bird's in big trouble. Got hit with a massive left hook. Another left hook. He's open to the right hand. Vladimir didn't find him. Another right hand. A left hook. Bird hasn't fired back yet.
Bird is trying to pull a Brewster, his cousin, Lamont Brewster, who took tremendous punishment, came back to win the fight. He's standing in there and taking awful punishment. Terrible barrage.
But Vladimir is not selling out the way he did against Brewster. More measured in his attack. Bird badly wobbled, having trouble taking the right hand shots. Now Vladimir may take a breather as Bird begins to recover a little bit with less than a minute to go in the round. Klitschko would do well to consider whether to punch himself out or hold back a little bit. The macho Bird, come on, hit me again. Klitschko says, okay, drop your hands and I'll do it. Bang, right hand, bang, left hook. Huge round for Vladimir Klitschko. Probably the worst round of Chris Bird's entire career. The sole exception of the round in which Ike Ibeabuchi knocked him out in Tacoma, Washington back in 1999. Straight right hand, partially blocked this time. But that one landed flush. And Bird makes it out of a terrible round.
That could be scored a 3-point round, even though there is only one knockdown. So dominant was Klitschko.
I got to keep a good eye on him. He gets taking more punches. I have to stop. I know you're fine, but you're getting hit with a lot of punches.
You hit me clean.
You're getting hit with a lot of punches, all right?
Yeah,
Understood?
I understand.
Chris, you gotta fight smart.
Let me how it is. You got to fight not to boo. Boo your head. I told you.
Why did you hit me? Why did you hit me?
Why you hit you?
What did you hit me with? Right hand?
A right hand. You had it in front of him.
Bird said he couldn't wait to get hit in this fight to show how tough he is. He got hit there and then did show how tough he is. But at what price?
Just a perfect shot. Bird leaned in, and Klitschko found his chin.
Seconds out!
This is later in the round, as Bird was weathering the storm. Round 6 begins, and Vladimir Klitschko more or less jumped across the ring to get at Chris Bird again. Klitschko now with a 4-point lead on Harold Letterman's scorecard. Some judges probably gave Vladimir the first round, which would make the lead 6. Another right hand lands. Left jab lands. Chris Bird hasn't been able to get out of the way of much of anything. Just as was the case 5.5 years ago.
There are 2 reasons Bird is fighting in this style. One, of course, is what happened in the first fight. The other, Bird says he got bored by just fighting and winning rounds. That joined him to a lot of people, but is this style to his advantage?
Well, it might be against some smaller fighters. It might be against someone who's not as quick as Vladimir Klitschko. But Vladimir delivers fast, and Bird is getting hit over and over. And I'm not sure who Chris is going to listen to. His father's right in front of him in the corner, but his wife Tracy is now yelling constantly at him from just outside the ring.
He's got a very brave family, I'll say that.
They're telling him to get in there. They're telling him to move his head. They're not the ones who are standing within range of the steel hammer, who's having a hot night. Bird lands a right hand, his first successful punch in a while. The word in Bird's corner continues to be walk him down, walk him down. It was the plan, but it puts Bird in harm's way. The make him fight thing sounds a little hollow right now. Klitschko's fighting fine.
Emmanuel Stewart widely received credit for Klitschko's victory over St. Peter. He is the architect of this as well. Left hand, left hand, left hand, another left hand, and an occasional right.
8 years ago, it was very hard to land power punches on Chris Byrd. He could duck or slip just about anything. Over the years, he's gotten slightly bigger, stronger, more sedentary, and he gets hit much more easily now. It makes it difficult for a 210-pound man to function in a 240-pound world. It's a hot night in this arena. Byrd is going to have to hope that he can sustain his energy longer than Klitschko can.
You yourself out. You got to just do what you're doing systematically. Keep breaking him down. The jab is working beautiful. That's all. Great fight. Great fight. Your left hand is just keep working the left hand. Just a matter of time. Yeah, he cannot go no 6 more rounds on this show.
The Klitschko corner has become an institutionally imposing place, with former heavyweight titleist Vitaly Klitschko and super trainer Emmanuel Stewart both there.
Yeah. If you ain't gonna do nothing, he just gonna punch you down right there.
Yeah. Fight intelligent. Don't get too carried away and run out of gas. Keep fighting intelligent, okay?
Second down.
Round 7 begins. Harold, how do you have it halfway through?
Okay, Jim. 59-54. 5 rounds to 1, Vladimir Klitschko. You got to give Vladimir an extra point. I only gave him 1 extra point in round 5, which he won very, very big. Larry, I gotta tell you something about holding. If you get punched in the mouth, okay, you can grab to stay on your feet. But when you're winning like Vladimir,
Harold, this point is so moot at this point. I have to interrupt you. It's nonsense, Harold. There's another knockdown for Byrd as Klitschko is completely dominating it. And that's the end of the fight as Wayne Kelly's seen enough as Byrd's face is a bloody mask. Holding was not an issue.
Vladimir Klitschko may no longer be the next big thing, but he is still a big thing in the heavyweight mix.
And tonight he destroyed Chris Byrd to earn a heavyweight title belt and put himself into the mix, along with 2 other products of former Soviet republics, as the heavyweight division increasingly tilts toward Eastern Europe. And who's the best fighter in Eastern Europe right now?
Vladimir Klitschko.
No question about it.
That was a consummate performance by Klitschko. True, it was not against a fighter who can punch hard enough to bother him.
But it was against a fighter who has been defensively skilled and has taken punches well in the past. And with that last right hand, Klitschko simply busted Byrd's face up to the point where referee Wayne Kelly would not let him continue. He looked at the blood and he said, too much.
If Byrd was hoping to wear Klitschko out with his face and his head by taking all those blows, that is not a good strategy.
Every fighter finds someone whose style he cannot contend with. In 19 rounds against Vladimir Klitschko, Chris Byrd barely scratched in the box score. He's never had that kind of difficulty against anybody else.
This then is another worst night of Chris Byrd's career.
And Vladimir Klitschko moves his record to 46 wins, 3 losses, as he continues the long quest to stamp himself as the heavyweight champion of the world. He's closer right now than he's ever been before. And Chris Byrd may have seen his best days.
It's going to be very difficult for him to get fights because he is not a box office attraction and because his style isn't a crowd-pleasing style, even when he tried to make it a crowd-pleasing style.
And because he wasn't beaten in this fight, he was destroyed. Let's go to Michael Buffer now for the official particulars on the Klitschko knockout of
The
Byrd.
end comes at 41 seconds of round number 7. The winner by knockout victory, and now the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, the Steel Hammer, Dr. Vladimir KLITSCHKO.
Well, there's tremendous excitement in this giant sold-out arena in Mannheim as 20,000 plus celebrate the victory of Vladimir Klitschko, who of course hails from Ukraine, but has fought much of his professional boxing career here in Germany. This was a two-man broadcast tonight because the third member of our normal World Championship boxing team was in the ring training his latest heavyweight titleist. Emmanuel Stewart has, quite simply, the greatest record for a trainer in the history of the sport in heavyweight championship fights. I believe you're now 19-1, 20-1, something like that. A fabulous performance by Vladimir. Larry, take it away.
Emmanuel, you saw how easily he handled Byrd in their first fight. What were your concerns coming into this fight, and how did you plan to deal with him this time?
Well, I know that Byrd was intended to try to be a little more aggressive in the beginning. And the trick was to keep his left-handed in a kind of extended position instead of bringing it back.